Well, a very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to yet another episode of Perceptive Learning Zone. And today, we will talk about the recent incident that happened that rather, I would say, went viral at COMSATS Lahore. So there was a assistant professor by the name of Dr. Tayyib who has sparked nationwide outrage after a very disturbing incident happened at the university. Now, he has allegedly humiliated a high performing student in front of his classmates only to learn that the student was an orphan. So, according to eyewitnesses, this teacher, Mr. Tayyab, being a senior faculty member, like I said before, he reprimanded the student for not bringing a laptop to class. So, when the student tried to explain, Mr. Tayyab interrupted with the cruel remark that तुम्हारे बाप तुम्हारे तुम्हारे बाप तुम्हें laptop नहीं दे सकते. And the class fell silent as the student very quietly revealed that his father had passed away. But instead of expressing remorse, Mr. Tayyab reportedly escalated the cruelty, asking that तुम्हारा भाई भी जिंदा है या वो भी मर गया. Now, in a shocking moment, fellas, he even mocked the student by saying कि zakat fund से ले लो laptop and ordered him to call his brother on the spot. A fellow student recorded the exchange, and the clip has since gone viral, triggering a storm across social media. The incident now it occurred on June 19th and was reportedly recorded on a student's phone. Following the humiliation of their classmate, several students they approached faculty members and the head of department in order to report the teacher's toxic behavior. However, their concerns were allegedly dismissed with excuses. And one student of COMSATS Lahore posted on Instagram that, and I quote, they said it wasn't something to make a big deal about, and that the teacher might have been under stress, which could possibly explain his behavior, unquote. Now, amid the uproar, the teacher, Sir Tayyib Chaudhary, now he has allegedly retaliated by lowering the grades of the entire class, according to the students, in what is said to be a clear, blatant, and unprecedented abuse of power. And students say that this is not the first such incident that has put the same professor in bad light, as many students claim that he has a history of intimidating, insulting, as well as humiliating students. Now, the student body at COMSATS Lahore is demanding independent inquiry, a public apology from accused, and immediate action from university officials. And despite all this outrage that we see online, COMSATS University at the moment has made no official statement on the matter. And despite all the mounting public pressure, obviously, several students now they have since expressed outrage, and they're stating that the teacher has shown similarly inappropriate behavior in the past, but no action, zero action, has been taken by the university administration. The incident now, ladies and gentlemen, it has reignited serious questions about ethics, about abuse of authority, and the treatment of marginalized students in Pakistani academia. And many are now demanding strict action against Mr. Tayyip. You see, along with strong reactions from social media users, even the artists are speaking out on the matter. There is an actress and host called Mishi Khan who has called the incident very upsetting and has shared a video message on Instagram. And in the video, she has very strongly criticized the assistant professor at COMSATS University Lahore and wonders how many other students have to tolerate such behavior from so-called assistant professors. So this academic, mind you, it's important to keep this in mind, fellas, that he has a foreign master's and PhD degree last I checked, and he has been working at this academic institution since 2015. And he insulted a student in front of 50 to 60 classmates just because the student did not have a laptop. Yes. Um, Now, you see, this is the tip of the iceberg. And today, I didn't want to just talk about this COMSATS Lahore incident, but also how such factors have played a big role in disillusioning our, students, the next generation, that I would say. And I feel it makes me realize that saying, that there are no bad students, only bad teachers. Yes, it's very easy to dump all the blame on the new generation and to curse them, to curse their incompetence, their callousness, their sense of obliviousness, to hold them culpable for all the failures of the society, the institutions, and the broader nation at large. But it begs the question, who's raising this new generation, right? It's men of earlier generations like us. Who's trying to be a role model for them? And now I spent quite a bit of time in academia, and I can tell you, based on my experiences in different educational sectors of Pakistan, a lot of fellas among this new generation have loads of potential in them. They just need a good mentor. I'm pretty sure if our academia had more leaders instead of bosses, more mentors instead of instructors, the situation probably may not be that mediocre or pathetic to the extent where people are leaving the country in droves, whatever opportunity they get. And and this thing is honestly the tip of the iceberg. No one can question the brain drain that is happening right now. No one can have even an iota of doubt on the matter. Yes, in a crabbed Faisalabad cafe, there's a boy called Usman, a 24-year-old computer science graduate who was scrolling through visa ads on his phone. And he sighs and says, "Ya kuch nahi banta," his degree gathering dust as he drives a Kareem to pay rent. Pakistan's youth, which by the way constitute 65%, a whopping 65% of its 240 million souls, this youth should be the engine of the country, the way I see it. Right? I'm talking coders, entrepreneurs, teachers. Instead, many like Usman, they feel sidelined. Their dreams are instead shifting to Dubai or London or New York or Toronto or somewhere else on God's green earth for that matter, everywhere except Pakistan. So now, with unemployment biting and opportunities being very scarce, the Shehbaz Sharif-led PMLN government, it is facing a crisis. Yes. Why are Pakistan's brightest minds fleeing rather than forging a future over here? The Awam's youth, as I say, they need jobs, not just jargon. So let's look at it statistically. Yes, because data, credible data, it paints a very solid picture, and I've always been a numbers guy. I think nowadays, after God, if you believe in something, that's data. So let's talk about these numbers. Youth unemployment, ladies and gentlemen, is hovering at 9.5%. But underemployment, if you include graduates in dead-end gigs, that pushes the real toll closer to 20%. And this is an estimate by the ILO, International Labour Organization. In 2024, 2.3 million Pakistanis, mostly under 30, they left for foreign jobs. And this was a 15% spike from 2022, said by the Bureau of Immigration. Only 600,000 formal jobs were added last year against 1.8 million new workforce entrants. What does that mean? You got 1.2 million fellas who are scrambling, who are groping about blindly. Now, small businesses, ladies and gentlemen, which employ 80% of non-farm workers, they grew just 3%. Choked by 24% lending rates. Tech startups, a potential lifeline. Yes? They number 2,000. Let's talk about India. Well, you say, well, hold on, Mr. Nasser. India is 7 times more populated than us, right? So 1 is to 7, 2,000 multiplied by 7, they should have ideally got 14,000 startups. You're wrong by 86,000. India's got 100,000 startups. Yes? Our startups are badly stricken and stifled and afflicted by taxes and red tape. And now, what is the result of all of this red tape? A brain drain that is bleeding Pakistan's promise. Now, the response of the so-called PMLN leadership, it feels like a misjudged cut short. Their 2024 budget, let's talk about it, it threw rupees 600 billion at highways and dams, but only rupees 80 for, only rupees 80 billion for youth schemes, and half of it is unspent as per the finance ministry data. You can double check. The Prime Minister's youth program, fellas, that was touting laptops and loans. It reached 200,000 kids, hardly 0.5% of the 40 million aged 15 to 29. Where's the skills training? Where is it? Why can we not see it? Yes. Now this Minister of Education, Raja Sikandar or whatever his name is, I remember a time ago he was saying that we dishing out internships for these FSC students, and apparently there was a link of some sort to register for that internship scheme, and for a long time that link was not operational. But even when that link got operational, for 12,000 seats, you had like what 2.5 million candidates fighting. So there you go. That's the disparity. That's the mismatch that we're talking about. So obviously, if it's not going to result in brain drain, then I don't know what else it's exactly going to cause, right? Moving on now, fellas. A patchwork of 400 centers graduating 50,000 yearly against a need for 1 million. That is the statement of UNDP. Small businesses, they face 18% sales tax. This scares startups, while you have tech hubs like Islamabad's NRC, which incubate just 300 firms, even though we need somewhere like 3,000. The government, it keeps on ranting about stability, but for fellas like Usman sitting in that Faisalabad cafe, dejected at the degree amounting to nothing, stability, it means a job, not a catchy press line. You see, this isn't just economic betrayal, fellas. Understand this thing. It's also a moral betrayal. Pakistan's youth, they aren't cogs. They're the spark of progress. Yes, it's wrong to let a generation rot in berozgari ka daldal when they should code apps, when they should be teaching kids, when they should be at the forefront, when they should be the pioneers of sustainable trends, when they should launch brands. The PMLN, with its root in Pakistan's, industrious heart of Punjab, it should feel this duty to empower people instead of exiling them. As per World Bank, right? As per World Bank, 60% of the graduates, they lack market skills, and 1.5 million people are applying for 20,000 government jobs. This is definitely going to fester frustration. Every visa that is tapped for a coder or a nurse, that is a verdict on leaders who build roads but not futures. And the country's kids now, the new generation, it deserves tools, not thoughts. So here's a question, right? $1 billion question. Having spent time abroad myself and someone who can totally relate to what's happening right now, the international student factor and the brain drain. My question now is that why must Pakistan's youth, why must our country's youth beg abroad when they could potentially bear something over here? So what we need is action, not advertisements. First of all, what are the solutions? This is important. Okay. How can we start marching in the right direction? First of all, we got to turbocharge small businesses and tech startups. We got to slash their sales tax to 10% for firms under rupees 50 million in revenue. Yes, which by the way is 80% of Pakistan's 3.3 million small to medium enterprises. We got to offer at least 20 billion in zero interest loans for 50,000 startups, copying Rwanda's SME boom, if you're familiar of it. We gotta build at least 10 tech parks in cities like Lahore, Karachi, Peshawar, with free Wi-Fi and tax breaks that are aiming for 5,000 new firms by 2027. When a Sialco tailor or a coder from Quetta gets cash and space, jobs bloom. Yes, 500,000 in 3 years. I mean, it's scaled right. Secondly, we gotta invest in skills and education. I mean, we got these renowned universities, the likes of NUST and LUMS and PIAS and GK, right? And the focus on skill set is sparse to non-existent. 10 years, decade old course that is studying, that is being taught, same drill over and over and over again. There have to be more mentorship programs. There have to be more skill set training programs, skill set acquisition programs. I'm talking about technical skills as well as soft skills, okay? And also the students need to be more serious. They need to get the act together. The teacher does not have to go and chase them for them to come to these skill set upgradation initiative-based workshops / seminars, whatever you want to call them. Yes, so it has to be a combined effort from both sides. Also, so we gotta invest in skills and education. It's a moral must. We need to triple our training centers to 1,200, targeting 500,000 graduates yearly in artificial intelligence, welding, nursing, entrepreneurship, marketing, blah, blah, blah. We got to partner with Coursera for free coding courses. At least 100,000 slots online in Urdu. Revamp 2,000 colleges with rupees 50 billion, adding labs as well as job fairs, as India's skill push shows. Also, we have to subsidize apprenticeships, okay? Stop playing this nonsense of unpaid internships. The student's intellectual quotient matters to something. You gotta facilitate him or her, monetize him or her financially, okay? Subsidize internships starting with rupees 15,000 monthly for 200,000 youth in factories and IT hubs. Skills aren't charity, ladies and gentlemen. They are power. A trained kid in Gujarat or Gwadar is not just going to earn, he or she will lift their family. So also, we have to spotlight success in order to shame inaction. Pakistani youth aren't idle. Okay, you got many examples, right? I mean, take Kareem's 1 million drivers, or many ex-graduates like Usman or Bazaar's, Bazaar's $70 million race built by Karachi's 20-something. So we have to fund at least 1,000 such ventures with rupees 10 million via a Youth Innovate grant that is showcased on a public portal with names, stories, as well as results documented in real time, to enhance the aesthetic appeal holistically. Okay, when a Larkana girls app or a Cohort boys solar kit goes viral, it's a jab at leaders to match their hustle. After all, innovation isn't luck; it is policy. So picture a nation where you have fellas coding in Lahore or Karachi, not Dubai, where cafes they hum with startups, not just rants and laments over not getting visas and stuff. That'll be it from my side, fellas. Thank you very much, and please do not hesitate to like, share, and subscribe. We'll be back soon with much more intriguing episodes of Perceptive Learning Zone. Till then, y'all stay blessed and keep rocking, and take care of yourself. Assalamu alaikum.